Hi everybody, Anne-Marie Fleming here again from Traction Complete, and I am going to show you another super cool AI use case. A quick recap, we have launched Complete AI, which is the ability to leverage AI directly in your workflows, and it is amazing. And just recently we launched the ability to do a variety of updates and enrichment steps all in one easy to use step, and I'm going to show you an example of what is possible in this short video. So I thought, okay, let's tackle a problem I know a lot of companies have. We all know how to fool forms, right? We do it. I do it. You go to a site, you want to get access to a report. Maybe you have no interest in the product that company sells, or maybe you do, but you just don't want to have that buying discussion just yet. You just want access to that content piece. And so you put in data in that form that you know will fool the form validators, so that you can get access to that report. The problem is that just starts to fill up your Salesforce with a ton of junk data. And then you go through all of these hoops to try to weed that out of your system and put these checks in place, when AI can do a lot of that work for you. And so I came up with a kind of a cool use case in that I not only want to look for what was put into the fields, like is it gibberish, is it test, but I also wanted to look like, is it a fake company name? And then I also thought, okay, let's test AI even further and say, can you look for fictional characters or historical figures that are no longer alive? Like, can we weed out things like Santa Claus or Abraham Lincoln as fake records? So I put AI to the test, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did this right now. So this is our flows. This is our automation engine, and our AI, like I said, can be embedded directly into your workflows, which is so great because you don't have to change a lot. You can just add this to your existing main flows. So this one is for record validation. Let me show you what we have. And so the cool thing about this is we have another way of doing AI in your workflows where you have full control over the prompt that you're using. And that has pluses and minuses, but this makes it so much easier, because what happens is, instead of having to put this huge prompt that covers all the context questions that the AI needs to leverage, we make it super easy by allowing you just to select every field that you think the AI should have access to be able to make this educated decision, to do this thinking that gives you the desired result. And what I love about having AI right in the workflows is you have full control over what you're allowing AI to see, what you're allowing it to do. And I just feel like that gives people this extra reassurance. So in this use case, I want to give it access to things like the name, the company, the email, and the domain, and use those fields to make a decision as to whether or not this is a legitimate record or if it should be flagged as invalid. And then what I do is I tell it, okay, I don't have to give it every instruction, but I want to give it some instructions as to what to look for. So I want to make sure we don't have a whole bunch of ABC Corps. I don't want gibberish. I don't want fake emails where it's obviously a fake, like test@test.com, looking for fake domains, and then looking for those interesting scenarios I mentioned, like fictional characters or historic characters that are no longer alive. And all I wanted to do here is understand whether or not this is a valid or invalid lead and flag it as such in a field that I called AI flag. And then what I want to know is why it determined this record to either be invalid or valid. And so I'm asking it to give me a reason as to why it flagged it that way. So let's test it out. I've already set up a lead. This could be coming in from anything like a form or list upload or what have you. So here I have made my person called Santa Claus. Now this would pass most forms. The validation is not looking for fictional characters. And that's what I love about AI. I don't have to give it every variation. I just said, make sure it's not a fictional character as one of the instructions that I put in that sort of mini prompt. So we've got Santa Claus, and we're looking for this flag right here. And let's see what happens when I rerun the flow. And okay, it got the invalid correct. And the reason is the record is invalid due to placeholder, email, and domain. and the name matches a well-known fictional character. And that is absolutely correct. We did do Santa Claus, and we also did test at test.com. Test.com is the domain. AI, you nailed it. And that's just one of many examples we're going to cover with how AI can certainly make your life and your Salesforce org so much cleaner and better and easier, because once that lead is determined to be invalid, you can have something like this in your flow where it checks to see what that flag says. If it's an invalid, we'll just throw it into a queue and it can be reviewed or purged later. And if it is valid, then you can take it through the rest of your wonderful flow and do all of those assignment and matching rules that you need to have happen. And you're not trying to do all of this on a record that is junk to begin with. So very cool use of AI. You don't have to cover everything. AI does some pretty incredible thinking for you, and it's part of your existing automation. And I'm just absolutely obsessed. So stay tuned. We'll have another use case coming up very soon. Thanks for watching.